We are now talking to Wisconsin three-star recruit and number one running back recruit for the Badgers, Loyal Crawford. What a name. What's going on, Loyal?
Hey, what's up, man? How's it going?
Well, we are good, man. I mean, I'm not dancing. As you know, you heard my rant about the Jets. As a Jet fan, and I'm not a very happy one. At least Speedy he's happy over there with his Giants. I mean, they can make the playoffs being 6 and whatever. I mean, they're going to win 6 games. They'll probably win the division. The Jets, on the other hand, they're not going to win a game, and they'll go down as one of the top 3 worst teams in NFL history. So there you go. As a Jet fan, at least I'm breaking some kind of record. It's not a good one, but it's a record.
Dang, man, that's rough. That's definitely rough, man.
Well, let me ask you a question. How are you and your family doing with this crazy pandemic?
We're doing pretty good. Yeah, we've just kind of just been chilling. Haven't been doing a whole lot. My mom's about to have a baby here in February.
Congratulations.
So, yeah, I'll have a brother finally. I have a lot of sisters and no brothers. So finally have my wish granted for a brother, and I'm really excited about it.
How old are you?
I'm 17.
You're 17. Your mom's having a baby 17 years later from her firstborn, right? You're the firstborn.
Yep.
You're the firstborn. So your mom's having another baby, another son, 17 years later from her son now is going to Wisconsin. He's going to be a Badger. He's going to go to a good, I guess, I'm not a Badger fan, okay? I'm just letting you know I can't stand the Badgers, but I've made some good friends. I like Ashford, who we interviewed, Al Ashford, who nice kid, really
Yeah,
nice.
that's my guy right there.
I love him, man. He's got some personality, man. Love him. He follows me on Instagram. So I'm going to give him a shout out, Al Ashford, who very funny kid. And I think he's going to be a star corner in college football. And he's going to be an NFL prospect. But we're not talking about him. We're talking about you. So the pandemic is good. Your mom's healthy. Everything's going good.
Yeah, everything's going good. Everything is going smooth. Just doing what I got to do to get to June and head to Madison.
The big time Madison, Mr. Milwaukee over here. You'll be Mr. Milwaukee now. That's what we'll call you, Mr. Milwaukee. So let me ask you a question. What was it like being recruited, doing it a completely different way with this pandemic? You're doing it video conferences with the coaches, some of the players on the team. I'm sure they were trying to persuade you. Usually the coaches bring you over there. They introduce you to a bunch of cheerleaders and like, she's hot. Like, oh, come over here, you know? Or what was it like being recruited and absolutely picking and deciding to go with Wisconsin?
Well, I mean, for me, I've always been a Badger fan my whole life. So I kind of always was like trying to get to Wisconsin. Like that was my goal. So I guess what it was like being recruited for me was I kind of just, when they offered me, I knew I wanted to go there already. So, I mean, I didn't really have much of like a recruiting process, if that makes sense, before I committed. So it was honestly, the recruiting process for me went pretty fast. And like as of now, like the Zoom calls and like everything's online now, it's definitely a little different, but I think I'm finally starting to adjust to it, to the systems and stuff. So, but that's how it went for me, or how it's going at least.
Was there anything specific about Coach Paul Chryst that fueled you to pick Wisconsin over your other recruiting offers?
Yeah, for sure. I would say just how laid back of a guy he is. That definitely intrigued me. Like when I first met him and had my first conversation with him, it was like I already knew him. It's like we already had a relationship. There's just something about him that he's just like, he really makes you feel special and like at home when you're like talking to him. So that's definitely something that intrigued me.
So you play the running back position. It's a very important. By the way, we are talking to Wisconsin three-star recruit and number one recruit for the number one running back recruit for the Badgers, Loyal Crawford, which is it's an amazing. I love the name Loyal, and I could see
Thank
why.
you.
I could see why your mom calls you loyal, because you're a loyal guy. You always wanted to be a Badger, and loyal, the loyal fan that you are. You went to Wisconsin. That's where you wanted to be. You wanted to be in Milwaukee. You wanted to play for the Badgers, which I understand. So playing the running back position, and obviously it's a speed position. It's become it's really been a last to me when it comes to the NFL and college football. They don't really look at the running back position to be the important position now in college football and the NFL, because it's become a high flying game. That's what they do. They run they use the running game really to set up the throwing game. So when you look at the running game and look at your ability of the speed that you have, do you see yourself as a two-dimensional back that could be used as a wide receiver in a spread offense and also run the ball dominantly behind the line of scrimmage?
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, I could play receiver just as good as I could play running back. I mean, I train for both positions. Yeah, I'm definitely a dynamic running back that can do both run the ball and catch. So
Wisconsin has a very rich running back history, especially recently. We saw Monte Ball, who had, I think he had the FBS record at one point for rushing yards. Then you go to Melvin Gordon, and then Jonathan Taylor, who was setting all kinds of records at that school too. Is there any one of those three running backs that really influenced you the most at Wisconsin? And also, is that a big reason you pick it, with the rich history of running backs, despite not having much else with the receivers and the quarterbacks and stuff like that?
yeah, most definitely. I would say, well, they all intrigued me. I tried to take from each one of their games, like their skills. I tried to take from each one of them, but I would say the guy that I looked up to the most would be JT. I got to build somewhat of a relationship with him through my recruiting process, and he just gave me some good tips and really helped me out. And I mean, all I did was just obsess over his highlights for like the past like few years, and it's just really helped me. So yeah.
Now, I'm looking at some of the ex Wisconsin Badgers that made it to the NFL, the Allens, the Bonds, all of them, Beagle, all these guys made it to the NFL, and they all played, they're all in the NFL still. Some of them are still in the NFL. Some of them are pretty good. Corey Clement is still playing for the Philadelphia Eagles. So there has been a lot of Badgers that have come out from college football, made it to the NFL, and were successful. When you look at your game and the way you play, is there a particular running back that you see that's in the NFL that you can compare your skills to?
Yeah, I would say in the NFL, I would say I try to model my game after Alvin Kamara. He's one of those backs that can play receiver too. He can catch. His balance is incredible. And he's not the biggest guy, but like he plays a lot bigger than he is. Like he's really hard to bring down. And I would say that's kind of how I am.
So in this kind of spread offense league, I know Errol was referring to it earlier. Do you think it's pretty much an obligation, kind of like what you're seeing out of Alvin Kamara, to be a pass catching back? And if so, do you think that changes the whole training philosophy of it? Were you trained like that as a younger player, being a pass catching back just as much?
I'm sorry, I didn't fully understand that. Could you repeat that, please?
So do you think it's pretty much an obligation for modern running backs to be pass catching backs?
Oh yeah, for sure, most definitely. I think the game has changed with this day and age, and I think it's definitely a necessity for backs to be able to catch as well.
As you guys know, we are talking right now to Wisconsin 3-star recruit and #1 running back recruit for the Badgers, Loyal Crawford. Loyal, where did you get your name? Now, my name is Errol, okay? My name is Errol. I was named after Errol Flynn, a movie star. My brother's name is Elton. He was named after Elton John. We all have original, unique names. My sister, Samantha Ashley, she was named after Samantha from that, what is that, Bewitched show? So it was Bewitched.
Yeah.
So where do you get your name? I mean, Loyal being loyal, I understand the whole Loyal name, but is there something behind it that your mom decided to give you that name?
I mean, I guess my mom just wanted more of a unique name, and I guess she picked Loyal. I guess one time she told me she named me Loyal because she wanted me to stay loyal to her for life.
Mhm.
So, but honestly, I think she just wanted more of a unique name. And I mean, there's not a whole lot of people named Loyal. So, yeah.
So hold on one second. What are your brothers and sisters' names?
I live with two of my sisters, Sierra and Tori.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have one, two, three, four, five sisters that don't live with me, and their names are Jessa, Aria, Jasmine, Destiny, and Ayana.
Wow.
So
You got
yeah,
a big family, man.
yeah, for
Oh
sure.
man,
And
you'll be taking care of them if you make it to the NFL. Holy moly, you're gonna have so many
yeah,
nephews and
yeah,
nieces.
that's the goal.
You're 4 away from a full 11-man offense or 11-man defense.
You're gonna have a whole offense. That's what you're gonna have. You're gonna have an offensive line and a bunch of running backs.
Yep.
Oh man.